I think it looks good.
Thank you.
And also, it's teal and then orange on the hat, but it's also orange in your beard. So you're wearing like head to toe, facial hair included, Dolphins colors.
Like he could be a Dolphins mascot without putting a single piece of costume on.
All right, that's enough me.
That's a bit insulting. Yeah.
How does Jeremy look?
He looks good. It's a rugby shirt.
Yes.
I think that's what we call those.
Like he looks like he could be a
attempt
mascot for a very thin rugby team.
Thank you.
Well, you know,
they're usually bigger.
A lot of qualifiers.
Lehman played rugby in college.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not a big guy.
No, not very
Sneaky.
big. He was actually at the Vanderbilt-Alabama game this weekend. Didn't get to that on the show, but there was about 45 minutes after the game ended where I was looking at his location and he was on the field, and I texted him and I said, have you been smothered? Have you been trampled by all of the fans?
The goalpost.
And then he finally answered and was like, that was crazy.
Can we talk about sharing locations, shall we?
Yes.
Sure.
To me, it's the craziest thing in the world. Like, I know the whole reasoning for it. I know, but like
protection.
So my nieces and nephews, for example, you know, they share their location.
Oh,
with
kids were
folks.
doing it. I'm going to know where my daughter is until she's like
But
33
your other
years
half
old.
needs to know exactly where you are at all times. Like if that happened to me, for example, like when I'm buying stuff that's supposed to be a surprise, like an engagement ring, for example. Like
that's what people who cheat say to not get their location.
There you go. Chris hit it right on the head.
I buy so many secret gifts.
Who goes to brick and mortar like stores to do shopping for gifts, Izzy?
I'm not saying
I'm kidding. The jeweler is like the one place where you do go in person.
Or Best Buy.
Because that's always been my reason for separate bank accounts, but it's really I want to gamble. And like I tell my wife, like, oh, honey, I don't want you to see these things I'm buying for you because I buy you things all the time. But
I would laugh so hard if A, this were true, and B, she's listening right now.
Kyle doesn't listen.
Whose spouse? Well, we can maybe
least
we
likely
play
to
this
listen.
game. I was gonna say whose spouse hates the Dan Le Batard Show the most.
No.
I'm pretty sure I can tell you the answer.
Wow.
You know Anthony?
She does laugh at like clips I'll send her, but she's never gonna like find anything.
She
on
won't
her
seek
own.
it out.
No, God no.
Here's the thing, Izzy. I don't think, I really think this is a generational thing. I don't think most people in my generation think twice about it.
It's so annoying. Like my niece she's 19 years old. She's an adult. But her mom and her aunt know where she is every second of the day and will call her and be like, where are you? And you know exactly where I am. Why are you calling me?
I want to know if you're being honest.
And that's also not true. I don't look all the time. Like I only look when it's needed. Like
when he's in Vanderbilt.
When he's at Vanderbilt and I'm like,
field goal on the loose.
There's people storming the field.
He's little.
He's not, you guys are acting like he's like this like little kid. He's an adult-sized man. He's just not 6'5".
Right.
You were the one worried that he was trampled on the field. I thought maybe because of his
he
size.
had a ton of equipment and stuff with him too. Like it was a dangerous
game.
It's football players. They're all in pads, and then there's just regular civilians on the field.
He should have just done backflips.
He was the one. He's actually the one in that backflip.
That was Lehman. No, I feel like for the most part, I still ask people where they are, what they're doing, and I only look if it's been like 7 hours and no one's responded.
Yeah, to me it would be an individual type of situation. It's like, hey, I'm going out, da-da-da, here. I'll share my location because this and that. But all hours of the day, like...
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I'm a Coca. What do you think?
I'm just making sure right now that I'm not sharing my location with David.
So that
he knows I'm not
you're
here.
Not cheating on him.
He seems like the kind of boss. I don't know if you would call him your boss, but colleague that would want your location so he can call you at all hours.
Yeah.
Like if I want to go and sit at a bar by myself, Fuentes, I don't want anybody knowing necessarily where I'm at. I'm just hanging out.
How do I get the location on my wife's phone without her knowing that I have it?
I think you need to.
I don't think that's how it
you
works.
need to take her phone, you share it with yourself, and then delete your text threads.
Because that's really what we're
where
getting
the notification
at here. We want to see if
is.
there's any funny business going on.
But then also, if she uses the Find My app, she'll see that she shares it with you, but that you don't share it with her. But if you do it that way, it might take her a while to notice.
I got 3 locations:
Danny
Flanagan's, here, and like the Highlight.
I was going to say the highway.
Amaret for the Panthers.
And where the
You
Panthers
probably
play.
spend a third of your time on 95.
Yes.
A third of your time sitting in your chair.
And then $5.95.
Yeah, and then
That's where you spend most of your time.
and
is
then a
probably
third of
$5.95.
the remaining
95
third
is
on
way worse.
$5.95.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to say that I've like in a perfect relationship or that I have to not worry about I get your whole thing about but no, to me all I care about sharing locations with is to make
Safety?
sure you're not being, is it human trafficked or humanly trafficked? I don't really know. But
Either way,
make
we
sure that you're
Either way,
still
we
with
got
us.
you.
I'm going to trust my partner. I'm going to trust whomever. I don't need the location to know if there's any, quote, funny business going on. I just need to know if
That's
he
not
or
why
she is
people
being
share.
taken.
That's not why people share their locations.
And
though.
in this city,
It should be.
yeah.
That's not why. That's not why
That's why
I've
you
ever.
don't.
shared
Yeah, but
my-
are we really scared that Chris is going to be human trafficked?
Yeah.
Like, is
Right?
he?
So don't
is
share
he-
the location.
I don't know.
We're
In
fine.
that shirt, maybe.
I want to know though. You're in the dating game right now. You're in like, is it a red flag? Like, I guess you're not gonna. Someone you just started dating, you're not gonna be like,
no,
hey, let's share location.
Dating
So
my
I guess
boyfriend for like 5.5 years.
what's the point where it's like we've been together long enough? It's time to share location.
It just depends on the person, because depending on how someone is, like
My man Mike's never sharing that
No,
location.
it-
Fist me, buddy.
the thing is, it's true. It's like you don't know the person you're dating. Like for them, it's a red flag. Like how do you feel with that person? Like it depends. But Danny B actually had a good idea because he has all our equipment from
Danny B
Metal
doesn't really have good ideas.
No, this one's actually good.
Okay.
He has all of our equipment air tagged, right? So we know where it is, where it gets
Right.
lost, this and that. So sometimes it's hard to find Stugotz. So we're trying
Air
to figure
tag 'em.
out how can we air tag Stugotz without him
Sew it
knowing.
into his one hoodie.
He'll get a
Yes.
notification though that there's an air tag on him.
Really? You
Yeah.
think he knows how to find that?
It pops up on your
But
phone.
I love the idea. That's a funny bit of recording. Put one on Stugotz and then record him so he sees like, hey, buddy, Mally, I have an air tag on me. Find this thing.
No,
And then,
Taylor-
like the idea of Stugotz looking for an air tag on himself
It's
is
in
Put it on his
cigarette
lighter.
pack,
It
yeah,
will be
right.
with him everywhere.
No, that like Jeremy said, that one Travis Matthew hoodie.
I think what happens is that you're dating someone for a long enough time that there becomes a point, whether you're on a trip together or like traveling in separate places or something, where you're like, we should share locations so
Great.
we're able to find each other. And,
then
then
when
you
he
sort
gets
of
back
just
home,
turn it on
turn that shit off.
indefinitely.
now I'm picturing my wife
And
like
use it as needed.
traveling for work somewhere, and I'm like, okay, let me check in, make sure she's safe. And then she's like, she's down an alley. I don't like this alley. Like, what am I gonna do in plantation of like
We'll call her on the
call
phone.
her coworker?
see if
I
she
could call her and be
answers.
like, what are you doing in this alley?
I mean, there are
She's like, actually, it's
occasionally
delayed.
emergencies do happen.
I don't see it as this like big issue. I think
don't see it that way
the
at
way
all.
that I shared my location was the same thing that Jess was just talking about, which was I think it was either I was going on a trip or she was going on a trip, and it was like I want to make sure that you're okay.
Well, aren't you
And then-
two just aligned?
No, but then from there,
Well, hopefully
it's-
you are with your
you just-
wife.
Yeah, then you just leave it
Well,
on.
not everyone's perfect,
and then that's
right?
it. You just leave it on because nobody's like checking religiously. If you're in a relationship where you've reached the point where you would be comfortable to share your location, but don't trust that your partner is not going to be checking religiously to make sure where you are, then you're probably not in the type of like trusting
I don't
relationship
even
that you
if
want
we
to be
go
in at that
beyond
point.
relationships. I know friends who share their location.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know,
I
and
can
we're
tell you
talking
where
about-
Priya is right now.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah,
to
I don't
me.
do that. I don't do that.
Where is she?
I
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
My issue.
Tell you, I follow like 15 of my girlfriend's locations.
Do you want my location?
That also
Yes,
makes sense.
I do.
How about we all share our locations together?
I will
That
share
way-
my. You know,
I don't
what
want
would
my
be-
location out there.
It would be
I
helpful
live life,
because
boys.
when I'm running late for work, you can just check. Be like, "Where's Jess?" Oh, okay, she's.
Oh, actually,
She's still at home.
That happened to me. You know what happened actually earlier this week, which I forgot to tell you guys. I fell asleep watching Monday Night Football, and so since like we have such a weird schedule, like I never know which days I'm here or not here. I don't have like a consistent alarm set for like every Tuesday, every
Yeah.
Monday, whatever. It's like some days there's some weeks it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then it's Monday, Wednesday. So I set my alarm every single night before I go to bed. But I fell asleep on the couch watching the Chiefs Saints game, and I woke up after midnight and I set my alarm for 7 a.m. But I accidentally set it for 7 a.m. the following morning,
Yeah.
not
Been there.
like 7 a.m. today because it was after midnight. And so I woke up at 8 and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, fuck.
I just go with weekdays and then turn it off the days I'm not in.
So then I was super late.
You can do that.
You can have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then
No,
the
but
same day
the
every
problem
day.
is that on the off chance I don't set my alarm
you're
for
like,
7.
it's more important to me to not wake up on off days
Exactly.
than to be late to work.
And it's not 7. It's like, I don't know why I said 7. It's like 6:15.
Right.
That's when I set my alarm. If I wake up before 7 on a day that I have off, like my life's ruined.
How annoying, and I know it's just body clocks, so annoying when you do that thing where it's like, okay, I woke up, I know, I can feel that it's like not the middle of the night. Like I know I'm close to it's always like 15
Yes.
minutes before my wake
Oh,
up
you're
time.
lucky if it's 15
Yeah,
minutes. It's like
seriously.
4 minutes for me every
Just,
time.
but
I
luckily
hate
for
that
me,
thing.
my wake up time, I have like 45 minutes of a snooze baked in.
Oh my
so it's
God.
really
Where you
like
just
an
lay down
hour.
in the
What
bed- in
is
the
your
bathtub.
wake up?
45 minutes is crazy.
When's my get out of bedtime?
I
or
want to
when's
know
my
all
wake
of
up
your.
time?
I want to know all of
My
it.
get get out of bedtime is like 6:35.
Ugh, same.
But Jess,
And the alarm goes off at 6:02.
Jess, isn't your body just like on like naturally waking up early? Like I cannot sleep in past 9 on the weekends because I'm so used to getting up at 6 on the weekdays.
There's a huge difference between like 6:30 though and like 7:15, like on a day off.
It is crazy.
I'm not
100%.
ever sleeping in.
It
ever.
is crazy how early 6:30 feels, and then you get to like 7:15, it's light out. You're like, okay, not terrible.
The light
I
is
can
a
do this.
huge difference, and that's part of the
Yeah.
game when you're overnight. It's like, I wonder what time it is, and it could be anywhere between 4 and 6. You just don't really know. But you mentioned, so your alarm goes off at 6:02, and then there's half an hour of, is there snoozing
9
involved?
minute snoozes.
Your
That's
wife must hate
wild.
you.
My wife's the same way though. We both are, and that's around when we both have to get up. So like we're both snoozing at that time.
Priya's
That's
at her
insane.
apartment,
Which is
by
even
the
more
way.
annoying because it's like every 4 minutes because it's like I hear her go off.
Jenny's
and
at
then
the
mine goes
airport.
off. Wow.
Goodness.
Harry's at home.
Where's Jenny going?
Hey, Harry.
I don't know.
Oh, ask her.
My alarm is set at 6, and I don't get out of bed until 7.
See, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
That
I hate
wake
that.
up at 6
and
That
I'm
60
healthy.
minutes.
There's so
is
much that
the
I need to
worst.
do before
it's
work.
the opposite. Some people say it's the opposite.
hate it.
Some people say the healthy is just get up.
You're
I wake up
supposed to
immediately.
give yourself time to your brain. It's like the worst thing you could do
That's why
is
I'm
pick
so
up
smart.
your phone right away.
That's why I
you got to give yourself
talk
some
so
time
well.
to pick
Are
up
you
your
picking
phone.
up your phone?
Yeah, that's the. There's
Yeah.
so much I feel like happens overnight that I've missed that I feel like I need to see before
See,
the day
give it 10
starts.
minutes.
See, I have like 4 snoozes. I have like 4 9-minute windows before I have to get up. The first 2, I'm just sleeping. The final 2, I'll sometimes get into. Let me see this 7 a.m. Slack that Dan sent. Like I'll get into like
7 a.m..
I'll get into my day a little bit.
4:45.
On the second snoozes, I might be on my phone, but the first 2 snoozes, I'm just trying to go back to sleep.
No, I get up at 6 and then I'm literally like doing just like Izzy
So your
says, I'm
alarm
trying
goes
to
off
wake
and
up.
you're just popping up and
That's
you're
me.
out
No,
of
no.
bed.
That's what I do.
I snooze
Me
one
too.
time and then like I have the automatic coffee maker, so that thing's brewing at 6. 6:05, I'm drinking the
if
coffee.
I get up right away, I'm gonna be like, not. I don't want to.
You're
like,
gonna like fall.
I'm gonna just be like miserable, and I'm gonna be like, how do I get
I
out of
am
work today?
miserable. Like that's the
whereas
thing.
if you give me
Yeah.
this snooze time, it's like
I'm just miserable.
I'm
That's just what it is.
I really hate waking up before it's light out.
Yeah.
It's-
I think
that's
that
all
means,
it is.
Chris, you just get really good sleep because I get up.
Oh, I get great
and I
sleep.
could. There's
my
times
wife
where I can get
is
up right
resentful
away.
of my sleep. My wife, guess what I woke up to at 1 a.m. And this is an empty. My
Wait,
wife.
Can we guess?
Guess
Hey,
what?
guess-
What?
Guesses?
At
What you
1
woke
a.m.
up to at
Guessing?
1 a.m.
You woke up to
Yeah, which is a
something.
semi-regular thing.
Your daughter sleeping in your bed.
No, the opposite. My wife having left the bed because I guess I was snoring or something, and like the old I'm going in
Well,
another
if you
room.
had her location, you'd know where she was.
Hey, it's either the couch or
Kyle
our.
is in Graceland's room.
It's
That's
either the
weird.
couch or our guest room. But ever since we got our guest room together, she like twice a week. I just like roll over in the middle of the night and she's just gone.
If I have to wake up, especially particularly early, ever since I started here, it's been ridiculous. I set 2 alarms. It's one, and then there's one 5 minutes later. I don't even give the snooze time to get there because I'll never even get to the second alarm. The first one goes off, and I'm like, and then like I'll get back down. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna enjoy these 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
thinking about getting
It's
up.
called anxiety.
I might as well
Yep.
just get up. And
I
then
can
get up,
enjoy the
hit
shit out of
shower.
those 5 minutes.
I can't do it.
I'm so jealous of you, Chris.
I wake up right away. Like
I don't
my
really
alarm
fall
goes
back
off.
asleep, but I just like the just.
You know
don't
who
need to
really
be up
hates
yet.
the early wake up is Willow. She looks at me. In fact, the morning that I overslept, I looked over and she just was laying there, and I was like, "Why didn't you wake me up?"
Yeah,
Like,
she
come
has
on.
a hard day ahead of her.
She
I get it.
hates getting
I
up
get it.
early. I have to drag her out of the house some mornings to get her to pee before I come into work.
I am curious of Dan's like overnight routine because like the 4 a.m. like what is he like? Wake up, go pee, send an email, and then go back to sleep.
So
Like, what's the-
No, I don't think the sleep.
One
is
time,
part
I
of it.
one time I texted Dan something like at 9 p.m. It was like a little funny video, and I'm like, oh, he just didn't see it or whatever. And then I wake up to a text at 4:15 in the morning. Ha,
what did it
ha.
say? Ha.
Just
I
a ha.
was gonna say, Dan.
And I was like, he's up way early. Yeah.
But it's weird
got 2
because
ha's?
he still sees
I think
all
it was
the
one.
he still sees all the sports for the most part,
Means he didn't
right?
like
it. Yeah.
So he's either sleeping
Courtesy, huh?
the second he leaves here and
Sleeping
waking
from
up
like
around
midnight to
prime time,
3. He sleeps from like midnight to 3.
I think so,
is the
too.
way I
like
envision it.
3 hours.
Yeah,
So we're gonna have
I
to get
think
it
that's
down.
stuff
And then he
about
just
it.
like goes and stands out on his balcony and he's
He
like,
could also sleep from like 3 p.m. until like 8 p.m.
That's true.
And then he's awake the rest of the time.
What was
He
it
also
said?
sleeps in between segments. He'll just lay down on the floor.
What was it he said the
Yeah.
other day
You could
that his
reenact
balcony, that stuff happens at his balcony? Was it animals that come to his balcony?
Yeah,
what was it?
Well, it was like bird parts or something.
Yeah, bird
Yeah,
parts.
like
I had
bird
bird
parts.
parts in my.
Someone's doing
does
bird
that
sacrifices
So
on
he
his.
gets up at 3 in the morning and
Yeah.
is sweeping bird parts off.
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
What does
Classic.
bird parts mean? Like
I wish I could
wings,
tell you.
Feathers?
No idea. But
We'll get to
going
the
back,
bottom of it.
Weeks.
going back to what Izzy was saying about the solo bar trip, this topic that me and Izzy talk about, because a couple of weekends ago, I'm sitting at beer bar. And
Solo?
Yeah. And I get a text from Jess. Hey.
Me?
You almost called me Lucy.
Yeah, hey, Lee's there. He doesn't want to lose his spot. Go say hi. So I had to go and say hi to Lee.
Did Jess have your location? How did she know you were there?
Lehman texted me and said, Mike said,
Oh, I see.
and I said, oh, go say hi. And he said, I don't want to lose my spot. So I was like, oh, I'll tell him to come say
So
hi.
I had
to
to
you.
risk losing my spot to go say hi to Lee.
Which is
You didn't have to. You could have waited till you were done.
how crowded
drinking.
is this place?
It wasn't that packed. But
So
he had
Why can't he do the chair up on the bar thing?
because I think their stools are like nailed into the ground, like they're screwed in, so you can't lift it. But
Put a little napkin on
But
it.
then it had me thinking, like, because of course
Over
he's
your
there, he just wanted to get out of the house, and I get it. But see, for me, different situation. My solo bar trip is different.
You wanted to get wasted.
Yeah, well, wasted or something else.
You were on the hunt.
Yeah, there you go. He's got it. So, but then Lee, he's on a totally different vibe. Because he's just out there
hope.
not wanting to be home.
Lee's looking for ladies.
And that's
get
why
it.
you have location.
Yeah, there you go.
You
Like,
make for a good wingman in that situation, though.
Nah, if Lehman
Lee would've
had
been the
ulterior
wingman.
motives, he would have never texted Jess that he was
That he
there
saw
and
me.
he saw you.
Yeah,
so.
he would have done like the hat
if we
pull
had
down.
ulterior motives, we were not dating. So it's just not like,
It's not a thing.
no.
Yeah, you'd be married by now.
Cheaters never prosper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't cheating. I don't do this.
Why not?
If I'll just stay home and make a cocktail if I don't have anyone to go get a drink
But
with.
I think it's about getting out of the house because he had probably been home all day.
Yeah.
And like, especially at a place where you can walk to. Like, I know Miami's not a walkable city. This is well documented. Like, it's not like New York where Lee is from, right? So for him, it's like he's used to just going down to local spots. But now that he lives in a place that you can do that, I see him wanting to do it
And
more often.
Lehman knows a good local spot because when I was going to New York a few months back, I picked his brain and him and Jess sent me on to some good places. So Lehman knows what's up.
You know, I think you're right about the sort of the walking thing, right? So whenever I'm on the road, when I used to be on the road very regularly, it would automatic. Like solo bar trip is the way to go. No offense, to my fellow writers who happen to be out. I didn't want to hang out with them, and so I just go hang out on your own, meet some random people, get a taste of the town, if you will.
Hell yeah.
But when you're back home, you realize, I got to get in the car after this and drive. I can't really do that. So at back home, it's like solo bar trips, but it's for like a meal, and maybe you have like one drink while you're there.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with the meal thing. Like, I
Yes.
like to do solo dinner, solo
Yeah.
lunch. Like, I don't really want to sit there and chat with people while I'm
Right.
trying to just eat.
Exactly.
But it depends on the person.
And when you're traveling, I'm with you. Like I'm with you. If I'm traveling, I do like going to like explore the city
Right.
on my own and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's
'cause
just when
it's-
I'm like around here, I'll text like, you want to go to Flanagan's? No, okay, I'm staying home.
There's other bars.
I'm not gonna go to Flanagan's by myself.
Why not?
I'm sorry, but like I will never go back to Flanagan's. I love Flanagan's. It's always crowded. There's always a 1 hour
you
wait
live
there.
by the most crowded one. Like,
Okay. Tell people where I live for a third time in this episode because now we're going to have to cut all three of those out.
I can
Mike.
bleep it out. I am in control here. I run the whole thing.
Did you
I am the
see-
Wizard of Oz. I'm Zeus. I can control everything.
There was a top 5.
Jess, watch. Ready? Black screen.
Okay.
Black
do a
screen's
pickup.
gone.
Oh,
there you
wow.
go. We're back.
For the podcast. That was great. What?
I feel guilty when I tell people that Leo Messi lives by me because then I feel like they can just figure out where I live and just go, give them a hard time.
But
They
it's
can't
so
really
far
get
away
into
that
this.
no one's gonna go
It's
there.
True. We live so far. Driving down here every day. I used to do it every once in a while to the Clevelander.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Oh my
That's what it is.
God! It's just
It's a
gotten so
nightmare.
much worse over the years.
I left
it's a
my house the
minimum
other
of an
morning.
hour and a half.
I left my
Really?
house the other morning at. I left at 5:45 the other morning because I wanted to get down here early to do work for my other job, and I left at 5:45, and I did not get here until 7:25.
Stop it. That is criminal.
An actual nightmare.
I've actually found in just
Fucking
luck of the
Brightline
draw
ruined everything.
recently, like last couple of weeks, traffic's been fine for me. But
How?
I don't know.
Where
Like
we
today-
leave from the same place.
today I got here in an hour.
I mean,
Well,
me
today
too. But
everybody,
that's
I think, was
crazy.
staying
An
home
hour?
a little bit.
Yeah.
An hour's good? That's
No, I mean,
terrible.
I live 36 miles away.
Yeah,
Like,
he
what
lives
do you want
far,
from me?
dude.
It takes
Like,
when I leave here at night after whether it's after games or staying here late enough to be here after rush hour, you get home in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
The idea that a good morning to get here when we're not leaving like in the midst of what should be rush hour.
Right, it's
We're
before
leaving
rush hour,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
early.
An hour.
And it still takes an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah,
If
no,
I leave
that's-
my house after 7 o'clock, I wouldn't be here until 9.
I mean, I might have to make a
ridiculous.
real estate decision just because of this commute.
bought a
It's-
home
it's-
up there. It was a
it's too
dumb
much.
decision.
That was terrible.
Yeah, speaking of commutes, I commute from the bedroom to my living room.
I didn't like that either, though.
oof.
I did that for like a year and a half. I
That's
didn't love
the
that
worst.
either.
I get tired of the work from home thing.
I like liked it.
No, I mean, I like it to a point, and then
You
it's
get
like,
so much time back.
yeah, that's true. And then you can do like
My back hurts.
laundry during work.
Inexplicably though, my back hurts so much that
It's
that
from the
work-
inactivity, believe it or not.
that year working at home.
I was not inactive. I was in the best shape of my life, doing Barry's boot camp every day. It was amazing.
Right down the block.
So one of
So
the things
great.
that I
With
could
locations.
things I get concerned about when I do the solo bar visit is I've got no rings on my fingers, and so whenever there's like a single person there, and
Christ,
usually
Izzy.
it's a woman.
I'm so
right?
good looking that it's like
no,
It's
I-
impossible
sometimes
for me
I
to
wear
go
a
out
ring
without
just
somebody
to
hitting on me.
Why did
I'm Izzy.
Why did
If
God curse me with these abs?
Man, nobody's hitting on me. Listen to what I'm saying. If I try to have a casual conversation with somebody that happens to be a woman at the bar by herself, she automatically thinks the worst of me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And rather than not talk to her
Do
and
you
be
say it?
rude, I just wanted. I don't know why. I have this feeling like not only do I have to talk to you, but I have to let you know that I'm cool. Like I'm not really going to bother you. I'm only going to bother you to let you know that I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah.
Because if I don't say anything, then maybe she thinks I'm playing it too cool or being a jerk.
One thing you don't want to say is I'm not hitting on you, because that
Right, that's the automatic. They are hitting on you.
yeah.
Well, it's like that new social thing that's like trending. It's like, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or
Yeah.
a man? So you just have to tell them,
the
you're like,
bear.
you're team bear. I'm on the side of the bear.
Actually, no, I'm
You're
not
not,
really
a,
a
you're
fan.
not a bear.
No, I'm not a
Yeah.
bear, nor am I a fan of bears. People called me a twunk one time, which I didn't really understand. It's like a muscle
Yeah.
twink or
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, I am neither of them.
What,
There was-
what do you consider yourself? Nothing.
average.
You're
There
just-
was an episode of Modern
guy.
Family where they rattled off, like it was Mitch and Cam talking about like different, and
There's
they were
so
just
many.
like, there's
There's-
this and that, and bears, and like,
There's twinks, there's
Yeah.
bears, there's otters, there's muscle twinks,
Yeah.
there's daddies.
all right, I
there's
want you
zaddies.
to,
There's just a lot.
I want you to,
It's a lot.
I want you to,
Pigs.
I want you to,
Oh.
don't be rude here. Where would I be?
I'd put you in the otter category.
I don't love that. Don't love that. Gonna have to look that one up. All right, go on doing show.
Not bad. It's not bad.
I don't like how.
No, it's a good thing.
All right, go on. Move on. I'm googling it.
Don't worry about it.
No, actually, I want to sit here and see what you
Yeah,
think.
me too. I'm waiting.
What do I Google? Otter.
Just like, what's an otter in the gay community?
Okay.
There you go.
It's like, I can tell everybody else whispering. It's
Otter is slang for a man. No. It says slender, so it's not a
Really?
good start. It says otter is slang term for a man who is slender, hairy, and has a lean build. So I don't think I'm an otter at all.
So what I've got it.
You're lean.
Oh, thank you.
I've got it as not quite a bear. Like, you know.
Can you be a bear if you're of his complexion and
Yeah.
facial hair color?
Yeah.
Because
ginger.
bear
Is
to
there like a
me
term for gingers?
connote,
basically?
yeah, like a
Doesn't
ginger
matter.
bear.
You can be a bear of any hair color as long as you've got some hair on the body and you're a little heftier.
I'm seeing here. Manatee is just
Excited about this.
disrespectful. Not going
I've
to call
never
myself
heard
a
of
manatee.
What's a manatee?
What is it?
manatee?
It says bigger, burly, but smooth. I'm not smooth.
Wouldn't that be like a seal?
Am I a chub?
I think that goes across all sexualities.
That's much bigger guy tends to embrace it.
Yeah, but all the bears embrace it too. They call themselves bears for crying out loud.
His beard's not big enough. Though.
Yeah.
No, his beard's fine. Doesn't have. You're not like covered in a rug. You don't have to be.
Right.
You don't have to have hairy shoulders to be
Right.
a bear. If you have hairy shoulders,
I mean,
you're
I'll
just gross.
obviously take your word for it.
Yeah.
And also, we're not going to hair shame.
What's Jeremy?
Nothing wrong with hairy shoulders.
Let's find out.
We can stop.
What
playing.
would we say?
Jeremy's a twink.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yeah, brother.
I know. It's cool. It's fine. It is what it is. Been called that since high school.
Really?
Oh yeah, come on. I did musical theater. Izzy, you know.
Oh, that's right. The theater stuff.
Yeah, it's not like I was getting
getting
called that by the actual gay community. It was more,
Yeah.
not.
No,
not
so you guys thought that I was going to sit here and say that every time I go to a bar, I just get hit on all the time. Like,
yeah.
that's what you were going.
The way you led with that was, I'm not wearing a
picture
wedding
it.
ring, and like, God, it's just like it's an open field day for these people.
No, that's the other way around. You're not wearing a wedding ring as a guy at a bar by yourself. I think people think you are on the prowl.
I never notice people's rings ever. You just told me you're not wearing a wedding ring. News to me.
I've heard people.
so funny.
I never look at anybody's
I've heard
hands
talk
for-
about.
all the time,
I've heard
I
people talk about how some single guys will use a wedding ring as like, because it attracts women.
I don't think that
know.
works. I don't think that works like that.
Makes 'em feel
I think that's like a
safe.
myth.
Right.
in your
I've heard.
head,
I've
yeah.
heard.
I think that's like at a certain age. Like I feel like if you're in like your late 40s or something, maybe early 50s, sure, but like I'm like 33. I'm not going to wear a
23-year-old in college. He's like, "Hey, I'm married, ladies. What's up?"
Not that I spent that much time being out and single, but if I was, it's the first place I look. You got a wedding ring on, chances are you're married to a woman. You're not in the family.
I've been out before with friends, and you like say something to a woman that's like not flirting at all, and they're like, "Hey, buddy, you're married," and it's like I was just talking, like we were talking about like I just said something to you. It wasn't like asking you. Like I've been attacked before because I'm so goddamn charming and friendly that people think I'm hitting on them, and it's like, don't you lash out at me?
Who is this handsome ginger
bear?
It's
like Jesus, like.
Why is he talking
I'm not
to my
hitting
wife?
on you just because I made you laugh, okay?
But
I'm
Chris,
just funny.
You've got a lot of charisma.
That's what I'm saying.
You've got riz.
I have to like keep it in sometimes.
Chris is definitely Chris gives off fun guy at the bar vibes.
Don't turn it on. Exactly. Don't turn it on.
Men are scared of other men that make women laugh.
Correct.
Because it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, they
a
get
lot
jelly.
of unfunny people out there.
And if you're cooking, just being funny, there's nothing better when you got just the room.
Ginger bear. Jer.
We'll be right back.
It's time for
You
Betcha. We're sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We're on a heater. 3 wins in a row.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. So
I'm not gonna lie. By the way, I lip synced that last You Betcha. That was actually
Wow,
nothing
you
coming out of
fraud.
my mouth. Sorry.
Oh, can't be trusted.
Next time.
We're going to stay in the NFL. We're going to do Commanders plus 6.5 at the Ravens. Commanders are on the road. Tough game. Probably the game of the week, really, since they've been doing so good. We're going to take Bears money line, hosting the Jaguars. The Jaguars remain frauds. I love the way the Bears look, especially when we were up in Chicago this past weekend.
The Bears.
Doing the watch party. And then Monday Night Football looked like...
You chose the Bears.
The Bears, yep.
You're a bear. Oddly enough.
A little bit, right?
Never mind. Just keep it moving.
I don't know. I'm a little hefty. I am hairy.
You're not hefty.
I'm not
I'm
that
just doing
hairy
the Jess thing of like making me feel better, like she did to me. You're not hefty.
You're
Anytime,
too
Chris.
hard on yourself with that. We'll get back.
You
to
really
that.
are, man.
Yeah, you
That's
really
what I
are.
do.
Yeah.
Is this your
much.
bar flirting going on right now? Is
Yeah.
that?
I don't do the self-deprecating thing with the ladies.
I give you a little kiss.
Just with coworkers.
And then for the final leg of the parlay, we're going to take the Bucks -3 at the Saints. Derek Carr got a little banged up on Monday Night Football, and that's going to be plus 552 at the time of recording. And that is You Betcha.
That was plus 550.
552 actually.
552. I didn't know they get that specific.
Yeah. Well, at the time of recording on DraftKings.com.
What am I supposed to make of a chicken Big Mac?
Me and Izzy connected originally over the love of the Burger King original chicken sandwich.
Let's discuss really quick. Let's explain to people what the burger, because if you haven't had the Burger King chicken sandwich, you think
Original
that's
chicken
just another-
sandwich.
the original chicken sandwich, not
The
that
long
crispy
one?
The long
nonsense.
one,
Yes,
yes.
the long one.
Old
that-
Faithful.
What?
I've
Old
always.
Faithful.
It's
By the way,
long?
it's like a 5-inch
this.
sub, right?
Okay.
That's
in my
very,
youth,
very long.
in my
Jeremy.
in my youth,
It's not that big.
you would describe it.
Good
as
joke, Jeremy.
7
That's a good
inches.
one. That's a good one.
Finally.
Dick joke.
In my youth, it was
Wait,
cut
that
in
was a
half
dick
at all
joke.
times.
Doke.
Is it skinny though?
We're back to chicken sandwiches.
Yes.
All right. In my youth, it was cut in half at all times.
Okay.
Now you have
Really?
to ask for it to be cut in half.
I've never seen it cut
So
in
my order with the chicken sandwich is the original chicken
like a
sandwich,
Long
no
John
lettuce,
donut?
cut in half.
Is it like a
No
cylinder?
lettuce. I like it. Just mayo.
Yes.
Just
Like a
mayo
hoagie?
and meat.
What kind of bread?
It's
What kind of bread are we? Is it
It's
a bun?
a great question on the bread, Fuentes, because the other day, and I was having
Sesame
a little
seed?
secret meal, and this was all thanks to Chris Cote. You've unlocked
A seal.
Unlocked a whole
But
new
yours was
thing for
probably
me.
some like kale smoothie or something.
No, it was this. It was
Oh.
it was a Burger King chicken sandwich.
You didn't tell Anthony about it legitimately?
He should have your location probably.
I'm texting
His
him.
Kyle doesn't
Don't you
listen to
dare.
the show.
Don't you dare. And so I'm taking a bite out of it, and I remember reading some stuff about Subway bread. I was like, was it really bread? Because there's something that they put in there.
Sugar.
The bread on this chicken sandwich tastes or feels like rubbery, but in a good way.
Oh.
Like it's got this extra
Hell yeah.
bite to it. So it's definitely not like regular bread. And it's like a breaded, long, like fillet. But it's
Oh, so
definitely
it's like a
not
long
just
sesame
chicken.
bun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is
A rubber sesame.
You take a
bun.
bite and I get no lettuce, so it's just mayo.
I love it.
And you don't tell them how much.
Like,
you
get
like
that
the
fucking
surprise.
lettuce out of
Like,
here.
some
You
people
say,
just
do you
slather.
start cursing at him in the thing? You're like, take that lettuce and shove it up your ass.
If there's a piece of lettuce on there, I'm getting a free
I'm
one.
chucking it right at the window.
But they could put a ton of mayonnaise on that thing,
Oh.
or just a sliver.
I want you to save a teaspoon of mayo for yourself. Put the rest on the sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the way I would order it, but I just leave them to their own devices.
I used to do that.
My
I used to do that with sauces at restaurants. Like, I'd be like, "Can I get extra sauce?" And they'd be like, "How many?" I'd be like, "Save 2 for yourself."
That's the most Greg Cote bit I've ever heard in my
He's
life.
becoming his father.
Wow. You say becoming. He says he used to do this.
Your daughter
I haven't done that in a while.
in the holster when she gets older.
That's amazing.
All right, Fuente.
Sorry,
So what's
keep
this new
going.
chicken sandwich situation? Because they've already created the perfect one. They didn't need any more.
Did you ever do the Italian version of that?
Yeah, didn't need it.
Whenever the Italian hits, I get 2 or 3 every time.
One, and then I go
'cause
back
it's
to the
limited time
originals.
only.
I put that chicken sandwich in the same
time.
category as the McRib, where anytime I see a commercial for it, I'll be like, ooh. And then, have you tried the McRib is gross.
It's
like,
disgusting.
unless
The
McDonald's
McRib
is a
is
sponsor.
It's all the
Yes. I
don't think
wasted,
I've ever
unused
had a
parts of
McRib.
the other meat. I say that in air quotes.
But it's like
and they just put it together.
There
in
are
that thing.
some things in fast food that I see a commercial of it and I crave it, and then I go eat it, and I'm like, why did I eat this?
No, the McRib is literally like pork paste that is
Ew.
formed to look like a
gross.
rib, like a rib rack, and then they stick it and they put onions in. It's
And yet
just-
somehow they put those little unchewable pieces of fat in there just to
Yeah.
make it seem
But
real.
some people love the McRib.
Yeah,
yes,
right?
yeah, that has a following.
Like people listening to this that really like the
Yeah.
McRib are probably
But you can
not
always-
happy.
And we're judging you.
You can predict the McRib when
I'm
it comes
not.
back.
I am.
I've
by
never had it.
by the price of the global price of pork, because whenever it goes down, that's when the McRib comes back.
All right, Mr. Economist.
Wow, that is way too much
So
information.
tell me
I don't know
about
why
the
I know
chicken
this
Big
stuff.
Mac, because apparently there's a chicken
check.
Big Mac coming back to the Burger King menu.
McDonald's.
I mean McDonald's.
Yes, McDonald's makes Big Macs. But it's literally just a Big Mac with chicken patties. So it's basically 2 McChicken patties.
Breaded?
And, yeah, yes. And
Sounds
but
kinda
they
great.
get like the Big Mac sauce and everything.
That sounds amazing.
And Izzy, hack for you, the BK app, BOGO special all the time on the original chicken
Can I
sandwich.
just say, I just can't because my spirit will not allow me to download the Burger King app. It's got to be illegal. It's
They're
gotta be,
getting you
a
though.
secret
They're getting
deal.
you with the free delivery, like Taco
that's
Bell.
the thing.
If you don't you ever
Chris,
Uber
did you
Eats
not
Taco
hear
Bell
me? Secret. I can't have it delivered to the house.
late
Oh,
at
that's
night.
true.
You can put in the
That's
thing. Don't
right.
knock on the door.
So you don't share a location, so you can go to McDonald's.
Leave it
Is
at the
that what I'm
corner.
Done that
understanding?
several
It's
times.
not why, but if I happen to be there and there's what the hell are you doing in the drive-thru? I would have a pit in my stomach. I'd feel like, well, this relationship is clearly over because I've been lying to you.
So can you not order a McChicken with Big Mac sauce?
That's exactly
You
you can do that just like that, and save yourself the bread.
in more ways than one,
Yes.
What do you
Hey,
mean?
Look at that.
because it's
Is it
less
cheaper?
expensive.
It's less expensive,
And it's less bread.
and there's less bread. Yeah.
Huh.
But
So is that a life hack?
That's the type of joke I would do at a bar if I was trying to.
Let me tell you a little something.
But he would do it with Joe Biden face for some
Exactly.
reason.
Listen, folks.
Stop doing your Joe Biden in front of my wife. I swear to God, I'm going to kick your ass if you do Biden one more time.
But she loves it.
Honey, come here. Stop talking to
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Also, Popeyes has a ghost pepper chicken sandwich coming out.
He has too much swag.
Look, what?
Riding with Biden in a different way, huh?
Way yo,
Jeremy, look at you.
What do you
Hey man,
mean?
this is Mystery Crate.
horny. Jeremy, very horny.
Can we talk about Jeremy? If you would have said to me,
Sure.
last people in your life that would just start firing people on Twitter, Jeremy would have been up there.
Firing people on Twitter?
Oh, who'd he fire?
Gus Malzahn. I mean,
Yeah, he's
not only he
gone.
did it on Twitter and he did it with a
Oh.
sign yesterday. Like, it's the most out of character, and I get it because Jeremy's like a journalist guy. So he's just basically like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
have
he's
have a lot of
huge
outlets.
UCF fan.
I
I
don't
think-
have a lot, but he's not a journalist for them. It's like
Right.
the only
It's
The
sport
only thing
that
I have left where I'm
I
not
think
an
that
acting journalist.
he's probably a bigger UCF fan than he is a Heat or Marlins fan. Like he really, actually, I knew Jeremy.
we can't see your
before-
face, so we don't know how you're reacting to that. Okay.
Before we worked here together, and I knew him as the UCF guy that I followed on Twitter. 'cause
Didn't you
he's-
used to have a UCF Twitter account? Because
Yeah, I
people
did.
were so annoyed
People
with
were
your
so
UCF tweets
bothered.
that you're like, follow me here,
Yep.
and that's where you'll get.
That's exactly right.
But you didn't do that the other day. You fired him from the Jeremy account.
Well, because now, unfortunately, I've
More
made it
numbies?
so- yeah, I've made it so much a part of
They
who
get
I
more
am
numbies.
And
How many followers is that sad?
oh, probably like
second account
100.
have?
Yeah, like nothing. I did it. I did
People
it.
that actually want the UCF, the people that were like, I want that UCF stuff.
Where did that
think
guy
I
go?
did that.
Yeah.
It's like my friend
for-
John and like who else?
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's John and like 12 other people. I think I did that for like probably 4 or 5 games, and then we lost a couple in a row. And I was like, "Well, this is I'm not.
It's not
doing this
fun.
anymore."
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
It's not fun. It's only fun when you're good.
If I had to tell you like who I would expect to fire someone on Twitter first, it would probably
Stugotz.
be Stugotz. I think Taylor is up there.
Taylor.
oh yeah.
Taylor tried to fire Mac Brown via text.
I
You
think
remember?
Billy would be the actual last person that I could picture firing someone on
I don't
Twitter.
know. He's tried to fire Jason Sanders a few times
Yeah,
on the
he's
show.
pretty anti.
Jeremy would never,
Okay,
never
fair.
wear a bag that said "Fire Spo" though. So I feel like his.
Oh, obviously.
Right.
Not as long as, not as, long as the
switch.
checks.
Who
are
would
there.
ever fire?
Why would you
Spo?
fire a good coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus is. Don't get me started. I fucking
Jeremy, you did
you ruined everything.
I guess you went off-roading, and you did as someone at UCF.
You
and first
did-
of all,
he
it was
did what?
hilarious. He went off-roading.
He said someone.
He did.
Yeah, he did say someone.
It sounded like you said you went off-roading and did someone at UCF.
Sorry.
And I
His
did
wife,
meet my
that's
wife
where you
there.
met.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
And it was in the video. It was very cute. Was it a Starbucks that you met her at?
Yeah, it was a.
What was your opening line?
No, you'll love.
Pretend I'm
it's
her.
worse. No.
How are you doing?
No, I like this. I like this.
I'm
I like
What are your
Scram-
thoughts about Gus
Pretend-
Malzahn's
pretend-
offense?
Yeah, no,
Pretend-
pretend.
Nice
Is Joe
to
Biden
meet you.
bothering you?
I'm imagining her
I like
just like
this.
at one of those like bars up against the window with her laptop, just like doing some work.
yeah.
No, so
Pretend- yeah, there
I'm
you go.
gonna
Yeah, I
make.
like this.
I
it's
support
so
women.
embarrassing.
My entire administration. Go ahead.
Oh, hello there.
We met at an honors college open mic night where I was performing songs.
Oh, you were a showman.
And I was.
She's like, who's that performing? She was with friends, and her
Mhm,
friends
she was with
left,
friends.
and she stayed.
Chris
'Cause
loves this.
They all had to leave, and the friend and Jeremy's like, no. Oh wait, no. She was whatever. Izzy threw me off.
Good story.
I was cooking.
Oh wait, whatever.
I walked up to the
Interrupt the
group
romantic
of
comedy
friends.
writing.
I walked up to the group because it was someone who I knew had brought
Friend of a friend.
her, and this group of girls was there, and I was a freshman and they were juniors, and so I was like, what do I have to lose? So I walked up and like purposefully was like, hey, how's it going? Like overdoing it on purpose.
Okay, I
and
like it.
then
You did a limited
saw
fake.
her and was like kind of obsessed from the moment I saw her.
She's very attractive.
And, yeah, she's
Stunning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so
As are your cats.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Ew.
God, they're amazing.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. I love them.
Stop talking about
They're the best in the
No.
world.
So like, did a song
pretty
start
offended.
when you say "Love at First Sight"? Was it like was the song playing in your mind?
Why do birds suddenly appear every time?
Yeah, that's what was happening.
Nice.
For sure. And
So your move was, "Hey, what's up?"
kind of. They were standing. The whole group was standing like, because it was at a Starbucks. Like a hybrid Barnes and Noble Starbucks thing.
I could
on
tell by the
campus.
furniture.
Yeah, and it was at the time there was in the area where it was where they kept all of the like the sugars and the straws and all of those things, and so they were standing like in the corner behind that because they had just walked in through the double
I
doors.
smell a pun.
And so I leaned up against that and was like,
Milady.
Hey, you're the
hello,
sweetest
ladies.
thing in
like
here.
messing
Tip of the
around.
fedora.
Yeah, just totally like
like cream in your coffee?
assuming
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm a raw sugar guy. I'm a raw sugar guy myself. You know.
All right.
My God, this
You guys
got
made
really
it
bad.
not
This sounds like
romantic.
I was
This
the
is
plot
why
of
you gotta do
Pitch
an
Perfect.
accent and
I was
just do
really
something
sweet.
crazy.
It does
Hello,
sound like
milady.
Pitch Perfect. Yeah, it does
Way
sound
better.
like that.
Milady.
It was very sweet.
You just got me thinking. I went on a date with.
Love her.
I went on a Tinder date once with this
Love you,
girl,
Courtney.
and it started
Tate?
getting. This is a long time ago. Yeah, Tate. A long time ago, and
Tinder wasn't around that long ago.
No, but this was like 20.
It's been around for a
2014. It's been a while. It's been
Yeah.
like 10 years.
I
yeah.
missed the apps.
I would
entirely.
love to
Yeah.
get on there and just start swiping.
It's not that great. So
Someone,
anyway, I met
Mally, set me up a Tinder account.
And when I met this girl, I remember we started going out. I started getting more serious, and she's like, "So are we gonna tell people we met on Tinder?" And I'm like, "No, just tell them I met you in a McDonald's line or something."
There's
'Cause
nothing
I-
embarrassing about meeting
Not
on
at all.
apps.
That's much
time-
better.
at the
That's-
time,
I know.
McDonald's
So-
line is way sadder than meeting on Tinder. By
Well,
the
you
way.
met at Starbucks.
I was
There's a
getting the
difference.
limited
Starbucks
edition
way better than
chicken
McDonald's, dude.
sandwich.
Yeah,
It was a secret meal.
I was getting the
Go Chipotle.
chicken
I know
Big Mac
so
the
many
first time.
people. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I
Who
want to
met at
say
McDonald's?
no that met on
Tinder.
Hinge or
Oh,
Tinder.
yeah.
Like it's at least half of the couples that we're friends with met on the apps.
I know. Yeah.
I guess you're right. Like there was a point where it was a little taboo to admit that.
You didn't mind admitting it if you were pressed, but you didn't want to like come out the box saying, "Oh, I met them on Tinder."
But your backup plan was we met at a McDonald's.
But that's a chance run-in. Those happen all the time. You know?
What
Hello
is
there. Fancy we meet you here.
What's the negative connotation there that you were online seeking
at the time? At the time. Now everybody does it. So
well, I think Tinder specifically also was like the sex hookup app.
It always had a stigma.
It's app culture.
Correct. So it's Grindr.
I imagine you both. Right. I imagine you both get up to order McDonald's at the same time, and you both go a number 2.
Whoa.
Yeah. And you both say
you
it at the same
shoulders
time.
a little
I want to
bit.
be
Like,
my
You both
number
go
2.
number 2. Extra pickles.
I love.
And then
we just. I love
my
you.
pickle.
How many like
Can you
half-written romantic comedy scripts does Chris have like in his
the
night
holster?
dresser?
Can you share your location with me?
Why are you looking at me?
It's a young Joe Biden.
I know we
I was
just.
about to say that.
Listen, I know we just met, but can I get your location?
What accent is that?
That is what?
That's Joe Biden's
That is
accent.
the leader of this great nation, sir.
Okay.
Who is this guy?
Coca, give us
His
a
limited fake joke.
Yeah,
Give us
I can't do accents, but I
do
got
one limited
ears.
fake. You can't.
Coca's
you
been
can't
crushing it so far. But
in
now
my
it's all
opinion,
falling apart.
on the Le Batard Show, you can't rip a limited fake unless you're willing to
gotta
do a
give
bad
one.
limited
Yes.
fake. And I've
Way
done
better than Ethan was last week,
hundreds.
but he's still annoying.
Can we do that here on the crate? Can we? Every week, somebody is going to be trying out a limited fake,
I like
a brand new limited fake. We'll go from 1 week. We'll call it and say, "Hey, next we got 10 minutes left. Somebody here, and I'll think of something. Come up with somebody you want to do a limited fake. Chris, you don't have to. You already got the Joe Biden one
Okay.
down.
'Cause I got plenty more in the chamber.
And that person will be booked for next week.
I did a limited fake Thomas the other day, but nobody knows who Thomas is except
Yeah, I
people
would say
that
a
work
famous
here.
person.
I kind of want to hear that one though.
So he swears that like he unveiled some mystery about Christian McCaffrey that he always gets hurt because they didn't want to draft him first overall in fantasy. So he's always like, I've been telling people about Christian McCaffrey.
He could predict
sound like
injuries,
him.
apparently.
I don't know who that is.
The voice
The running back
doesn't
for the
sound like him,
49ers?
but the cadence was like he does.
Cadence is good.
I've been telling people about
Tone.
Christian McCaffrey.
He's on IR. He's out for
Thank
4
you,
weeks.
Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Hmm.
So helpful.
Thomas, come in here so Izzy can know who you are.
He's hard to miss.
I do
No.
feel bad for McCaffrey's calves, plural. McCaffrey. It does seem
It's
to be a.
It's tendonitis, right, in the Achilles or something?
It's tough to go from he's starting week 1 to he's flying to Germany.
He didn't
like
go to
in
Germany
2
for
weeks.
tendonitis.
If you had to have an itis, which one would you
I
want?
I had tendonitis when I was like
Pick
in
an
5th
itis.
grade.
One and one only. Wait, what?
One and one only.
Yep, one and only one.
I don't want appendicitis.
Nope, don't want that itis.
Dermatitis.
Coca, what itis you
Gingivitis?
want?
No, that's bad.
No, it's not
Gingivitis
good.
is bad. You can't get your gums back. Make sure you brush,
Yeah,
kids.
and you can have a heart attack or something.
it is reversible.
Oh,
It is
the gum?
reversible.
Dogs
Yeah, you
get
just
it.
can't
If you
let it
had
get
to
you
have
up.
an itis,
I mean, I've had
Google.
tendonitis. Like it was painful, but I'm
doesn't
still
sound
here.
fun.
Yeah, I've had the itis after a big meal. Does that count?
Oh,
there it
God.
is.
Yeah, that's like
That's
the
the one
only
you want.
itis.
I don't mind that
want.
itis.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just like, yeah, we're not having sex tonight.
That's the one thing about getting older. I gotta say, like, yeah, you gotta warn your partner. Oh, you want pasta tonight? Well, I guess there's always tomorrow.
Izzy,
You know,
after a big meal, huh?
after that original chicken sandwich.
How
I'm just going to make people uncomfortable and say, do you know the first half of that itis and where it came from? The phrase.
Gastritis. That's what I assumed it stood for.
No, it wasn't good.
how long?
Coca broke his chair, so I got
I
distracted.
don't know what's happening right now.
The off button is broken.
Oh, on the board. Okay.
Oh, you broke the board. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's.
Well done.
I can't be turned off.
How many
fully
how
turned
many
on.
minutes after a spouse farts do you have to wait to have sex with them?
See,
How
you're
often
asking
are you and
different
Kyle
questions. You're asking very difficult
Jeremy,
questions, Chris.
You're newly married. Answer it. Right away, my man.
I don't know.
I'm
Fist
gonna-
me.
I'm
Fist
gonna
me, Jeremy. Right away.
Tell
Love
a
this
story
guy.
really quick
I can answer that.
Ooh,
about,
I like this
about my
story.
dog,
Oh.
not about Lehman. The other night, Willow and I were both sleeping. Willow hates sleeping on the bed with me. Because like one
So
time,
does my wife.
One time I accidentally kicked her off
me.
the bed, so now she's afraid of
Sometimes
it.
you wake up middle of the night, and Willow's just gone in the other guest bedroom.
I got her to finally sleep on the bed with me, and she was facing like the foot of the bed, and I was sleeping like with my head at the top of the bed, obviously. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, "Wow, she finally laid in bed with me." 5 seconds later, she rips ass.
Yes.
It's like, God, I
Yeah.
never have nice things.
So, Jeremy,
Sleeping on the
right
floor
away.
again.
Fuentes,
I what?
how long after your spouse, girlfriend farts are you willing to have sex with them?
I mean, right away. Why not?
Hell yeah, my man gets it.
You ready for my answer?
What's a big deal?
Oh, boy.
If I fart, 2 minutes. If he farts, next day.
Yeah. Not gonna lie.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's why sneaky move, veteran move. If you're feeling like it might be coming in the next sex, I mean,
someone's
go
coming,
fart in the bathroom. Just don't.
Oh,
Because I usually just let it rip.
you
But
might be missing some of the context.
I think he might be.
I think I might be because I was helping Coca with the button, and now I'm totally lost. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's going well.
Coke, are you from New York? You say huge.
Jersey.
Okay, yeah, Jersey. You definitely look like a Jersey guy.
What does that mean?
yeah, is that?
You look like a lot of my friends from New Jersey.
What if he didn't have all the tattoos?
Are you Italian?
No, I'm not.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's just
so
a
what are
Jersey
you?
phase.
My dad was
That's
from
not
Puerto Rico,
nice.
and my mom is just New York City.
That's an
Jew.
otter if I've ever seen
There it
one.
is. That's why you thought Italian.
Oh, okay.
Puerto Rico and Jews. Come on. Combine that, you get Italian.
I was just doing a New Jersey association thing.
You are a sniper with accents, though.
Thanks.
Yeah. I noticed that you're really good at you said this something. So where are you from? I don't know, for some reason, because you point out a lot of Midwest accents that I never catch.
Oh, well, I mean, that's...
you're from
if
there.
anyone sounds more Midwest than me, they're from a part of the Midwest farther north. So it really narrows it down a lot.
Google still says otter gay community.
You're going to get home and Kyle's going to be like, let me look at your phone.
What's going on here?
Sorry,
Should we call her? No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You should call your brother Kyle. We never did that last week.
Yeah, you didn't call your brother Kyle. Only your wife Kyle.
Can I ask you a question about your father, Kyle?
Yeah.
Does he get actually pissed off when Dan and you do shenanigans with him on Tuesdays?
Rarely, but yeah, sometimes he does.
This week he did.
He has a short memory though. It's like one of those things where he'll be really mad and huffing and puffing, and then just an hour later he's just like, "What? I don't even remember what I was mad about."
He had a little tremor in his voice though when he was talking after, so we didn't know if he was serious or not.
I
Yeah.
always feel so
Don't worry
sad
about it.
for
No,
him.
I mean, I don't older man.
I do
getting
worry
emotional.
about it.
All right,
It
I'll
makes
call
me
him.
sad.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
want me to call him?
Call Kyle, yeah. Call Dad Kyle. What does he say?
No,
I'm not
because
gonna
he's
call.
probably driving right now, and that's not safe. Just
Yeah.
like that guy in the McLaren who crashed it on the turnpike.
Yeah.
you guys-
Jack Doherty.
See that video? Apparently
I
he's
haven't seen it.
You haven't seen this?
I've heard about it, but I haven't
It was
seen
in Miami, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was down south by Cutler Bay, which is way down south where I used to live. He was riding on the turnpike, live streaming and looking at his phone, and then he wrecks his McLaren on the turnpike because it was wet and rainy.
And they had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, and his friend was basically fighting for his life in the front seat, and all he could do is bitch about his car. And his friend is literally
No way.
losing grasp on life.
Oh, okay.
It
The
was
driver was
a
bitching
perfect
about it.
Yeah, the driver was
encapsulation
dying.
of what it feels like to drive. It was pouring
In
rain,
Miami.
Rain.
and this guy just completely loses control of his car and crashes it, and it's all live streamed.
The thing that makes it Miami is the fact that it was a McLaren and not
of
just like a
course.
Toyota
No, and
Corolla.
it was
Right.
it was like a blue McLaren that had paintball stuff on
stupid
it.
paint job.
Yeah.
Who
Why
would
is
have
this
thought?
person famous?
I have genuinely no idea who
So
they
he's a
are.
streamer?
Streaming
Okay.
culture. Yeah.
Streamer, I guess. Like the idea that you could drive a car like that, the way that you would drive like a Subaru in a rainstorm on the turnpike, and then nothing bad would happen while you're distracted and also looking at your phone.
Those are the cars I worry about the most. It's not if somebody's drunk at night, you can pretty much tell because they're swerving. But if I can see the car, I'm worried about the crazy sports cars because
Yeah.
they're going to do some crazy shit.
And they're hard to drive.
Yes,
People
well,
don't know how to drive
Today,
them.
when I was driving in, there was someone going 45 miles an hour in the express lane, and I was ready to kill them. And I was wondering what was going on because traffic was clear. I was driving behind them, and then it got to the point where the express lane was 2 lanes, and I pulled to the right, and I looked, and they were literally just staring at their phone.
Hold on, though.
I could not believe what was happening.
This is going to get really inside 95, but 95 has this. All right, so it's
That's
the
all right, we got
express
the whole
lanes.
East Coast on
That's
That's
what
the express
I-95
lanes,
means, inside
and then
95.
you go up the ramp when you're going to stay in the
Yeah.
express lane.
Are we
And
going
it's-
south or
it's
north?
a single. We're going south. It's
Okay.
the single lane ramp
Uh-huh.
when you're on the express lane from 95
Yeah.
where the exchange is. So you're
Yeah, I know
skipping
exactly
the
what
whole
you're talking
exchange.
about.
And
Correct.
during our drive, that's usually not bumper to bumper, but it's moving slowly.
little crowded.
Like that's
Correct.
the slowest part of the drive.
It's like a bottleneck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
and but I like to because I don't want to go up on someone's ass. And
Oh,
then
no,
brake.
yeah, no,
So
I'm trying to stay
my
back.
play is keep a good distance
That's a
from the
different
car in front of
conversation.
you, and you're always moving a little bit. So
Different
no,
conversation.
But listen to me. Someone the other day. So there's a huge line of 50 yards ahead of me. There's bumper to bumper traffic, and I'm
Staying back.
I'm gonna pace this so I never have to stop, and the person behind me can do the same thing. This person behind me on the ramp, on this single lane ramp, got annoyed with me and zoomed around me and went 20 feet ahead and just
Just
sat
to be
there.
one spot.
You know what I did there?
that.
You know what I do? I go right up to them. I fucking turn my high beams on, and I'm just like, "You happy, bro?" It's like as angry as I get, dude.
So mad.
It's
Chris,
as angry as I get. I'm
yesterday-
literally gesturing like the rest of the way. I'm like, "You good? You happy now? Are you good? You're good." And
I'm
then as
afraid
soon as
to do
it
it
turns
'cause I
into
think
two
someone's gonna
lanes,
shoot
as
me.
soon
Yeah,
as
I
it turns
know,
into two lanes, I get next to him, and I'm just like, "You're still
You're
here,
still
buddy.
here.
You're
I hope
still
you're
here."
happy.
Yesterday,
I hate that guy
I was
so much.
at a large intersection, and when you're at a green light, but
What
you
was
don't
the
have the left
location?
turn signal, and you pull up a little bit, so you're like a little bit
Yes.
poked into the intersection. The car facing me was also turning left, so we're like facing each other in the middle of the intersection, waiting to be able
yeah.
to turn. And she's like this, like her phone's up in front of her face, so she's not looking at oncoming traffic. So I give her a little honk, and she looks up at me, and she's like, and I'm like, put your phone down.
Yeah.
She picks her phone back up, so I give her another honk, and I'm like, put your phone down. So I just keep honking at her, and she's getting really pissed off at me, but she won't put her phone down. And then finally the light turns yellow, and I turn, and she's just sitting there. And I'm like, dude, you're now in the middle of the intersection
It's-
at a red light
It's the only
because you
place
weren't paying attention.
It's the only place I get like rage filled.
The level of
The car?
monster we become when we're in a car is crazy.
I like, to,
100%.
I like to just think of that person and think of what their mind is, what's going through their
They're like,
mind,
"Oh, this
what their
guy's an
life
idiot."
is like.
Do they not
that
see the cars? Do they think that I'm slowing down traffic?
And so either they were in such a manic place that they had to get in front of you, or they're in front of you and they're like, shit.
Yeah, like,
Why
what
the
an
hell they-"
idiot.
So let that person just go ahead and sink in whatever the hell is going on in his or her life, and you just relax. When you get your heart rate up, they win.
I
Chris.
hate them.
Yeah, well, with the short amount of time we have left, I just want to take a second to everybody that's going to be affected by Hurricane Milton. You're probably hearing this on Saturday. Hopefully everybody's okay. Best to all your families.
We love you.
And be safe out there.
I hope we're okay.
yeah,
and everything
seriously.
will be-
I'm not looking forward to. Well, we already recorded this, but
Yeah, but we're full disclosure. It's Tuesday. We're recording this early because we don't know what's going to happen this weekend. But everybody, stay safe. Take care.
And if you see Chris Cote, say, "Hey, Bear."
Hey Bear and hey Kyle.
And hey, Otter.
Ooh.
See you guys.
Stay
next
safe.
time. Yes.
Hey,
Illy.
bye. Okay, bye.
Love you.
Okay. Bye.